Hey everybody, Rachel here. Wanted to take a minute to show you a few different tips and tricks for using the Gradebook in Canvas. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is how you can designate an assignment as late or missing or excused for a student here in Canvas. So what you'll do is you'll click on the submission next to the student and you'll see an arrow here, okay? And that would be true also of a student who hasn't completed the submission. So if I click on that arrow, what's going to pop up is this sidebar here, and you can see I have some options. I can leave the status as none, I can change it to late or missing or excused. So if, for example, I mark it as excused, you'll see now that it's popped up over here as excused. So that's one thing that I wanted to show you here in the Gradebook. The next thing I wanted to show you is how you can designate in your Gradebook the percentage that a student would receive for a missing assignment. So I'm in grades in my class. And of course I'm in a live class. I'm going to click on the gear on the right here. And you should see now that we can see late policies, grade posting policies. There's a couple tabs. At the top, I have the option to check this, which is me saying that I want the Gradebook to automatically apply a grade for missing submissions. And then I can decide what that percentage would be. If, for example, I don't know, if for some reason you don't give a 0 for a missing, let's say you want to give a 50% for a student who's missing an assignment, you have that option, or I can go ahead and set that as 0. I also have the ability down here to apply a deduction to late submissions if that's something that you do, and over here on grade posting I can decide whether I want Canvas to automatically post grades so that they're visible to students, or if I want them to be hidden until I'm ready. So just know that those are options over here in this section. And again, to get there, I clicked on the gear and from there was able to make those changes to my settings. And so really quickly, I want to show you what happens when I go into a student who has not submitted that assignment. I click on the arrow and I mark that assignment as missing. It's now going to automatically assign that student a 0 because in my Gradebook settings, I have checked this box and indicated that missing submissions should receive 0%. So what I've shown you so far are some how to access the Gradebook settings for the entire Gradebook, and also how to indicate for an individual student whether they are receiving, whether we want to mark that as missing or late or excused. Okay. What I also want to show you is if you go to the top column here in your Gradebook and you click on the 3 dots next to any assignment, you have some additional options, okay? So really quickly, one option that you have is to set default grade. What that means is that any student who has not submitted the assignment, I can go ahead and say I want to fill in for everybody else a score for them. So let's say the deadline, the due date has passed. I have a good chunk of students who still haven't completed an assignment. At this point, I want the system to go ahead and mark a 0 in for those. And I don't want to have to go down the line and do it myself manually. So I can do that and I can hit 0 here. Careful, if you check this box, it will overwrite any grades that have already been submitted. So in this case, that is not something that I want to do. If I go ahead and do this and hit set the default grade, what you're going to see in a second here is that it's going to fill in, and it said scores updated. Now every student who has not submitted has a 0. Another option that you have here within your Gradebook, again, if I go to the top row and click on the 3 dots next to the assignment title, I can also use this tool, and I think this is pretty nifty. I can message students who. And it allows me to sort of set the parameters for that. On this drop-down menu, I can choose students who haven't submitted yet. So maybe the due date is coming and you want to shoot out a reminder to those kids. Or students whose assignments haven't been graded, and you can say, working on this, chill. Students who scored less than. So let's say you have a test where you want students who scored lower than a certain percentage to have the opportunity to earn some of those points back, maybe doing test corrections or a retake of some kind. I can do that, or I can do scored more than. Maybe I want to give an attaboy or an attagirl to some of those kids who did really well. So any kid who scored more than a 75, I want to say, nice work, and have a message go out to all of them, okay? What's cool is as I change this, you'll see that it tells me the kids who fall under that umbrella. So scored less than, if I want to do that. If I want to do haven't submitted yet, it tells me all the kids who are in that bunch, and then I can go ahead and type my message and I can send it out. There's a send message button down here. So those are just a few things that I wanted to show you, some different options and settings within Gradebook that may or may not make life easier for you. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.